Hello, everybody, and what we're going to talk about today is being in fear of performing certain spells or doing certain magic or creating period in a certain type of way that is not standard and formed and structured in a certain way. Being afraid to do these things because someone said that they should be this way and you should not use them this way. Well, I want to kind of like speak on that. The way that I perform my spells or do any of that stuff is drawn from myself. I take something and make it mine because I am aware that I am in my universe and those that I come in contact with are in their universe. We are colliding and meddling in each other's spaces. When I'm viewing another god or another goddess or even human forms, I am viewing their way of life the way that they see it. I don't have to see things the way that they see it. I don't have to do things the way that they do them. And when you stay in a certain space of I'm afraid to do it my way because it might be wrong, it stagnates you. And I'm not about that stagnation, and my ancestors and my spiritual team is not about it either. And when they see that I'm in a situation or I want to be stagnant in any area of my life, I don't care if it's spells and magic as well, they will move me to another direction. They will show me that I am a goddess and I am a creator, and you are a god and you are a goddess and you are a creator. Don't let someone stagnate you from making a creation of your own. You are here to explore every part of this plane. It is your right. That was one of your intents. You are supposed to create through all this chaos, create through all this, this craziness around you. You are supposed to create and make it your own and make it something that you want to see. Nothing is stagnant. Nothing is supposed to be stagnant or stuck in place. Everything moves. And the reason I say that everything moves is because everything changes. And I'll give you guys an example far as if you ever come in contact with anybody that's telling you you only can do it this specific way, then you need to ask yourself in your mind, where did they get that from? Who taught them? Did the creator of that thing teach them that, or did they read it from a book? And then if they go off and say, well, I got it internally. Well, I can't see what you're receiving internally. I can only listen to myself, what I'm receiving internally. And myself tells me to create it a certain way from the way that you created. The whole key to this whole thing is listen to yourself. Trust yourself. You know more than what you give yourself credit for. If you want to put this certain thing on your altar, then put that certain thing on your altar. If you want to create your altar a certain way, then do it. It doesn't have to be standard. You need to find out where the rule is. Where did they get that rule from? And certain people are stuck in this type of situation where they think that it's supposed to go this certain way. And to be honest, back in the day, I was that way. And sometimes some things pop up, whereas I'm still that way in certain situations. And my ancestors have to nudge me to a different direction because they want to promote my freedom. And if you're not free to create the way that you want to create, it creates stagnation and it creates fear. You're in fear of doing it the wrong way. This is your universe. Go play. Basically, that's what it is. Go play. Test things out. How do you think the first alchemists learned how to do a certain spell? How did they learn? They had to practice. They didn't get it right the first time. They had to do it again and again and again until they perfected it. But guess what? It was their own. They took something from somebody else and then made it their own. They put their own spin on it. Yes, it may be certain structures behind these certain spells or certain structures behind the things that you're supposed to do, but no one says that you can't put your own spin on things. You have a creative energy within you that others do not have. You are individual, a special and creative individual. Don't let anybody stagnate that or put a stranglehold on that. You can create tons of things. You know how many people was afraid to actually step out and do certain things because they was afraid to get it wrong. And they probably knew a better way. They probably knew a better way, but they was afraid to do it a different way. I can give you guys an example that I know for sure. It's this certain type of way that they say that you're supposed to do a spell or do magic or whatever, or you're not, that's how they put it. You're not supposed to do it this way and you're not supposed to do it that way. Well, me being the rebellious and bringing in some of that Uranus energy, I did it the opposite way, the way that I felt, the way that my ancestors and my spiritual team, kind of guided me to do it. And do you know, every time that I do this thing, it always draws to me. And one of the reasons that it always draws to me is because I have that belief that it will. See, people forget that. That is the key source to creating anything. You have to believe it. If you don't believe that that thing is going to have an effect on you, then it won't. That's why so many people are cursed and have hexes and all this other type of stuff, because up under them they believe that these things are possible and can happen to them. Nothing can happen on this in this realm unless you believe that it is a possible. We have agreed to so many things that is unhidden. That is hidden. That's what I wanted to say. That is hidden. That is not in plain sight. So you might see different things that's going on in your life and you might think, well, I didn't agree to this. I didn't agree to that. On some level within your psyche, you agreed to these things. I don't care if it's before you came into this realm. Certain things you agreed to have happen. Certain things you agreed to be in certain situations. It's an agreement. If you don't agree to these things, you cannot be a part of them. That's almost like a hidden law. It's one of them unspoken laws. The reason your spells and your manifestation and all these things are happening to you is because you have an agreement. You agreed to these things. You think it will happen this way. And that's why they say a lot of manifestations come into fruition is you have to believe it. You have to know it. And some things that don't happen up underneath, we don't really believe it. You might not believe that I am rich. You know how they say that affirmation, I am rich, I am wealthy, I am this, I am that. And it don't always work. Because deep inside, you look at your external and you say, man, I ain't rich. I got this bill that I need to pay and I don't have enough money to pay it. So how am I rich? So it's different type of things, but things boil down to your beliefs. So if you believe that you can take this magic or take this spell or take this planetary chart or this square and you create this or you create that, then do it. Test things out. Awaken that inner shaman. I did a reading before as far as awaken that inner shaman. Your inner shaman may speak to you in a different type of form than somebody else's. Your inner shaman might tell you to do it a different type of way. Don't only just awaken that inner shaman, awaken that inner alchemist. You have all these energies in you. Don't let nobody stagnate what you're supposed to do or what you can do. Let's take that supposed to do out of there. What you can do. You are capable of more things than you could ever even imagine. That's how powerful you are. You are a powerful being, a powerful creature. And if it wasn't so, you wouldn't even be in this realm. It takes warriors and strength to still be here. And that's you. You are a creator. You are a creator. You are a creator. I don't care what the world around you says. I don't care what people say. I don't care what you see. You are a creator. Use some of that, you know? Use it to create some of the things that you know within your mind that you can do. Don't just look at, oh, I only can do it this way. I only can do it that way. No, do it your way. Because you never know. Your way might work way better than it have for even 1 million people. Because guess what? It could be 1 million people, but those 1 million people are not you. They're not you. They will never be you. Ever. That's how superb you are. So you guys, I know all this was a mouthful, but hey, bring out some of those inner alchemists. Let them play on the table. Let them create in their own way. You know, test out yourself, your own abilities, your own skills. So that's what the gist of this video was. And any and everything that flows through this mind, I will always let each and every one of you know.